First part of this, you okay? Okay, so the first part of the deal here is that there's something called the neutral spine position.
Okay.
And the general rule is that if you cannot maintain the neutral spine position, you cannot do whatever you're doing. So when you go to TRX, you're going to struggle for a little while.
Okay.
You're going to have to figure that out on your own. But in a month from now, you're going to be like, wow, I can maintain the neutral spine position. And what you may have to do is that instead of doing something that you're using your full body to do, you might have to go back to your knees, or, I'm trying to use some examples, and my TRXness is smaller than it really should be. I actually need to be more TRX savvy. But so what I'm trying to say is that find the neutral spine position, maintain the neutral spine position, do something, and try and keep yourself in that neutral spine position. And in an ideal world, if you can't keep it, you can't do the activity. Okay. You'll figure that out where you're comfortable being, because I don't want you to stop exercising, So that said, how we find the neutral spine position when you're initially, and we're taking baby steps, is that you plant both feet so they're kind of a nice stance, like as if you were standing on them. And then you line the feet, the knees kind of straight, so everything feels straight as if you were standing on it. Okay. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to tilt the pelvis backwards and forwards 3 times, and you're going to find that middle position. That's the range of motion in between there. And you're going to fine tune this. At first, you're going to go backwards, forwards. Kind of feels like maybe where I should be, kind of possibly. But eventually you're going to be like, I'm there. I know I'm there.
Okay.
Takes a while.
Okay.
Then the shoulders. So if you put your hands at your sides, and we're going to use the term pack your shoulder. But what we really want is we want this idea that the shoulders are wide and engaged, so that if I bend your elbow and I push up, you don't let me. Push down. Oh. So really what we're looking for is this muscle back here, your lats, are turning on, because they add spinal stability, and when they're engaged, they let the upper trap relax. Extra bonus. Okay? So then we want the back of the neck long. So if I drop this down a little bit, we want you to think about that. So as if someone was pulling here, let me grab some hair. I can't find it. There we go. So if someone was pulling kind of at the back top of your head, and I'm going to just push down on the jaw. Yes. So that's the motion. I may have pushed you back a touch too far, but that's the mentality of where we want you to be. So that's the alignment part of this thing. And my video is going to suck. Just so you know. Okay, so now I'm going to flip, and it's probably you're going to be like, oh, I'm dizzy. What is he doing? Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to do something that's called the Powerhouse. And the Powerhouse is going to be a combination of 3 things. Breathing in a specific way, contracting a deep abdominal muscle called the transverse abdominis, and contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor. So first, the breath. It's going to be into the nose, out through the mouth, and you're going to try and slow the air down using your tongue in the roof of your mouth, making a shh sound. And this is probably really cool to connect with your playing the bassoon, because you are connected with where the breath is and how to use your diaphragm and all that kind of cool stuff. And that's really what we're doing. So breath in, breathe out, shh. And so what we're trying to do here is that diaphragm's here, pelvic floor is here. You got all these guts here. The transverse abdominis, the muscle that we're after here, and all of those guys make like a can. And that can stabilizes the lumbar spine, which in turn stabilizes the whole body. So we're using the breath as a tool to figure out how to turn all this stuff on. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now abdominal muscles. We got 3 abdominal muscles. We got the rectus abdominis, the 6-pack muscle, the abdominal obliques. The one we are concerned with right now, the transverse abdominis, goes transversely across the lower belly. What it does is it draws the lower belly back towards the spine and tightens the sides of the can. So if you take 2 fingers, put them right here. Use this hand. So you feel the pointy hip bone. You come to the inside. I'm going to do the same thing here. So take that breath in, breathe out, draw the lower hip bone. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now, muscles of the pelvic floor. Heard of Kegel exercises. Essentially what we're going to do. So pelvic floor sits here. Urethra, vagina, anus all pass through the pelvic floor muscle. When you contract that muscle, it moves up towards your head. 2 cues to help people get connected to their pelvic floor muscles are: 1, stopping a pee in the middle of peeing, but we don't want people to do that on a regular basis because it promotes urinary tract infections. Yeah. Second one is holding in a fart. Can you contract? Can you?
Like the last 6 weeks of my life.
Can you contract your pelvic floor muscles?
I think so.
Okay, so breath in, breathe out, draw. Okay, one more time. Breath in. Okay, so that is the stabilizer. Now we want to add some movement, and we can add a myriad of different movements. But what we want to happen is we find the ideal positioning alignment. We want the engagement. And then once the engagement happens, we don't want the movement and the engagement to start at the same time. We want the engagement to happen a second and then the movement. We're going to pick the hip joint. We're just going to do real simple, just pick the leg up. So what I want you to do, take that breath in, breathe out, engage, lift that leg up, right just to there. And the reason that we don't go here is because that takes your spine out of that neutral spine position. Mm-hmm. We only go right to there. Okay? Breath in again.
Up.
Stay there. Yep. Okay. Breath in. Engage. Leg comes back down. Okay. Switch the other side. Breath in. Engage. Lift the leg up. Perfect. Breath in. Engage. Bring the leg down.